So you mentioned you were on, Def Comedy Jam, the reboot.
The reboot, yeah.
And I actually interviewed Russell Simmons about that whole series literally a couple of days until the whole Me Too thing exploded. Def Comedy Jam 25th anniversary special.
Oh, that's streaming on Netflix now, and it was a fun experience. Having those people come back, like that reunion was exciting, and it was kind of shocking that they all showed up, honestly. I mean, to have Cat Williams show up, right? to have Dave Chappelle and Martin Lawrence and so many great people come back and celebrate. For me, it brought back a lot of memories, obviously, but it also was good it reminded me that we needed, when we started this project, the 25th anniversary, it reminded me that we needed to revisit this space, because what we did with Martin and Jamie and Bernie and Chris Tucker and Dave Chappelle and Steve Harvey and Cat Williams and Kevin Hart and all those people, they were underserved and underexposed, and Hollywood didn't see them. They would pick the more accessible, easy to digest comedians, but the big stars came from Edge and this cultural space that Hollywood doesn't see well. And so that's how they became famous, Def Comedy.
And because of that, his name was taken off.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I think like his video bits of him introducing, doing the intro and the outro, that was all taken off. And I felt it kind of took a lot of steam out of the series.
Oh, without question. Yeah, because it was hyped up. It was almost like the real return of it.
Right, because to be totally fair, Def Comedy Jam probably put more stand-up comedians on than any other platform in the history of the world.
It made me want to do, like, I was in high school when it came out, and people say, who's your favorite comic? I don't have a favorite comic, but Def Jam was what lit my fire. Like, I always knew I wanted to do stand-up, but when I saw that kind of reaction, and then it was a nice balance, because what you saw Martin hosting, going off on the audience when he needed to, and then also the comics up there ripping, and you're like, God, and the energy in the room, you could feel it. It's rare when you watch a comedy show and you can feel the audience come through the TV. You could feel that audience. That was part of the allure. Sometimes it wasn't even the comics. It was you wanted to see the audience, like stand up and going nuts. And Martin, to me, that was the best comedy show ever, as far as like a variety show where 3 or 4 comics are on the show.
That was the best comedy show ever. And you could say that based on the careers of the people that show launched.
Oh,
like
Bernie Mac,
Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle. Was Kevin Hart on there?
Nah, he was on the one that came back.
Okay.
They tried to bring it back. Remember they had Epps and then DL hosted it?
Yeah.
But even it just, that'll never be recreated with that kind of talent that came out of it. I mean, Bill Bellamy, so they made a movie out of Booty Call.
Right.
He wasn't even in it. That's how good that show was.
Right. I mean, Chris Tucker went on to do Friday.
Yeah.
Straight off of there.
Yeah. Everybody's watching. Because there was nothing like it before it.
Right.
There was nothing like it. I mean, that was just like this. Whoa. I was scared of New York. I was literally like, New York's wild. Because of Def Jam, I go, they wild in New York. But I knew I wanted to do stand-up. And I said, I want to do stand-up. And that's the reaction I wanted. I said, I want that kind of reaction.
Yeah. So you go and finally do it. And then the Russell Simmons thing happened.
Yeah.
How did everyone sort of feel about it?
I don't know. I was so far removed because we filmed it and then it aired like 2 months after we filmed it. So I'm not in LA. So I was just getting texts and then hearing about it. So I was so far removed from it. But it just goes back to Def Jam closes with, thanks for coming out, God bless. That's how you close Def Jam. If that ain't there, it's not the same. No matter how funny it was, you waited for Russell to come on and the dancers to come out. That was Def Jam.
Yeah.
That was the original. So when he's not there to do that, it's almost like, Journey doesn't have Steve Perry anymore.
Right.
It's like you lost the lead singer.
He's got the Asian guy.
Yeah, but you lost the lead, Van Halen lost David Lee Roth. You lost the lead singer.
Yeah.
I
mean, being, because you haven't totally been in film. Like, you kind of hop in and do a movie and then go back to your stand-up. But being in the Hollywood scene, what's your whole take on the whole Me Too movement and so forth? Like, do you ever worry that some girl that you went on a date with like 10 years ago is going to come back and say that you grabbed her ass?
10 years ago I was still married, so it's going to have to go 20.
20.
You're going to have to go deep. No, I'm honestly I'm not that worried. I think I've been pretty respectful to women, But I also think like, man, I was 19 and 20 at a time. I drank.
Right.
I'm just gonna, I'll be like this. Gabriel smacked my ass. I was like, we was at a Crisscross concert. Your clothes was on backwards. What do you mean? Jumping. I was with the song. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty confident. No one's ever gonna come after me with that. I've been respectful.
Yeah.
I've always been like, I've always said, if you don't like me, then I always went that route. Like, it's not who I like, who likes me. So I've never been the one to like be aggressive and go after women like that. I just never have. I've always been the guy at nightclubs when I was single. I'd stay in the back corner and try to make eye contact, and then hopefully they'll come over to me. And it was an advantage being a white guy at hip hop clubs because I stood out.
Right.
And then black girls always come up. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was like intriguing,
Yeah.
So I was always like the timid guy at nightclubs and stuff like that. I was never. If you don't like me, you don't like me. I'm not gonna force myself on you, And I've never, especially when you hear about the producers and directors and things going on set and all like that. I go, dude, I've worked with Taraji, Gabriel, Regina, Meagan Good, Lala, and this might sound weird, but when you work with them like that, I'm like, they got dicks. As far as I'm concerned, they're not even female. I'm not even looking at them like that. I'm like this, nah. Because guys be like, what's it like working with Gabrielle? She got dick. This is not even a female to me like that.
You're telling me if you were single and Gabrielle started...
And she's single.
She's single.
Yeah.
And she's like, after a long day of shooting, going back to her trailer.
This is the...
She's
Dirty
with
Thing
it.
Like a Man? Yeah. Nah. I'm telling you, man, I don't look at them like that. At all.
Okay.
At all. Once you
right.
work with them like that, like Gabrielle's like the homie now.
Okay.
Like she is the homie. So you call me, say I'm bullshitting? I don't know, but I'm like this. I don't look at them like that at all.
All right.
Lala, Taraji, Meagan, I'm just like this. They're beautiful women, but once you work with them like this, almost like they're relatives.
All right. That's your story, and you're sticking to it. Gotcha.
Guarantee there'll never be a scandal with anybody I've ever worked with on set.